Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special episode of Experience Exchange. As you can see, we are not in our studio. This is our first mobile video podcast, and we are actually at Infinity Coven at 447 Stockton Street in San Francisco. And this is the lovely Zia.
Hello.
Owner and Strega extraordinaire, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But just as a warning, we are in the city, and with that comes all sorts of beautiful noises like cars honking, sirens going off, people yelling, so just be patient with the background noise. But thank you for having us in your beautiful shop.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Jen.
Yeah, so a quick story about how we met and how I ended up here. So David went to school in San Francisco State, and we were here for the Megan Thee Stallion concert because, you know, that's my celebrity crush and I love her. David was so kind to get me early birthday tickets, and so we went to the concert. But this, literally where we are, David would be here all the time as a college student. It used to be an arcade for fighting games, like competitive fighting games, like Street Fighter, King of Fighting, that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, I really want to show you this special place and bring you to this arcade. So we walked by and he was like, oh no, it's not an arcade anymore. Ooh, but it says Infinity Coven, so it's definitely witchy. We should come back. So we went down the Stockton Tunnel, which is literally this way. We got some food. We came back. Then it was finally open, and we came in, and he was like, this has to be a sign, which, you know, David is a skeptic. Yes. So for him to say that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna pay attention. And it was also a Capricorn full moon, I want to say. All the things were aligning.
All the things.
Yeah. What did you think when you first saw David come in here? You're probably just like a regular guy shopping.
Yeah, no, you had your friends with you, and you were talking about the concert, and I had heard that this was an arcade. Yeah. It was also a spray tan salon before that, but I had never met anyone that had seen it before, so it was interesting to see the shop from a different point of view and what it used to be.
Yes. So anyway, David was like talking to Zia, like the extrovert he is. And then you mentioned that you wanted some readers in your shop because your shop had just opened like a month ago, brand new. And then we were like, oh, let's talk about it because I had been wanting to expand into the city. So then we talked about it, we worked it out, and yeah, I've been doing readings here for like over a year now.
Yes.
Yeah.
The longest running tarot reader in the shop. Yeah. And you're here about once a month, and people know that you're here now. And so they like, when's Jen going to be back? So we love having you in the shop. You bring such joy to us. And
I love being here. And besides just being a cool person, you're also a fountain of knowledge. So we were like, we absolutely need to interview you. So anything with like cultural magic, David and I are always scared to like not do it justice. So whenever I know any like cultural magic practitioners, we're like, oh, we got to get them on the show. Yeah. So we are so excited. So you are a Strega. So
yes.
A Strega is an Italian American witch, correct?
Or just a Strega is translation for witch. Or a female witch. A Stregone would be a male witch.
Oh, cool. Yes. Cool. Yeah, so I love learning about all of these things from you because I have no frame of reference for it. But let's start from the beginning. So Stregheria, or how do you say the religion again?
So the Italian American religion is called Stregheria.
Stregheria, yes. But there's something that predates that, correct? So let's start with like a history lesson. So
okay, so a lot of Americans hear about Stregheria, and Stregheria is a religion, and it's very similar to Wiccan.
Oh.
And I will show you a book. This is Italian witchcraft, and this is Raven Grimassi, and Raven Grimassi is the godfather of Stregheria, and he invented Stregheria. So Stregheria has rules, rituals, initiations. it's very much like Wicca, where you can trace it back to the guy who started it.
Interesting.
Whereas La Vecchia Religion means the old religion, and that is referencing the old ways. And that is what Italians practice. There is no Stregheria in Italy.
Fascinating.
It's strictly an American thing.
Oh my gosh, fascinating. I love that. Yeah, I think it's very similar to like voodoo hoodoo, where it's like the African diaspora, but like they don't necessarily practice it in Africa. So that is fascinating. I would have never known the difference.
Yes, and it's very different in that in Raven Grimassi with Stregheria uses this liquor, which I hope to bust out a little bit later.
Absolutely.
But this is the spirit element that they use in Stregheria.
Yeah, I love that. You have like this beautiful artwork. If you ever come get a reading with me or with any other reader at the shop, like you'll see it. It's a witch holding like a liquor bottle, and it's this exact one. So that's super duper cool. How did you get started in your Strega journey?
So I've been, interested in weird things for a long time. I was raised very Catholic, and really liked the saints. And they say that, the saints are kind of the gateway to paganism.
Yes, they are.
So I kind of just fell out of touch with the religion of Catholicism, and there were a lot of things I didn't really agree with, but I really missed the community and the culture, and there is something about the pageantry and the ritual that I just really, really missed. So I was doing, some mind, body, soul work, and felt that something was missing. So I started my path and finding out what that was, and I found a temple, the Mount Shaddis Goddess Temple, and I started taking some classes and learning about priestesshood and shamanic type work, and working with the elements and working with the divine goddess, and really got hooked to learning. I love learning, and I have continued to take classes. So I'm about 10 years with my temple now. I love my sisters, and part of our priestesshood, part of our magic work was going back to your roots. And I would suggest that to others who don't know where to start, is tap into your ethnicity. And I really, really, really connected with the mythologies of Italy and North Africa that I was not connecting with Norse gods or Celtic gods. So I just kind of felt that bond and have been focusing on that and trying to learn as much as I can with Italian witchcraft.
I love that. And I love that your temple is like, everyone has their own individual journey. When I started stepping into like away from Catholicism into whatever this is, I was scared to get back into another situation where it's like conform or don't be here. So I love that it's like everyone is on their own like, journey, whether it's like shamanic or Strega or whatever it is, and it's like, go back to your roots, and like just people encouraging each other. That's so beautiful. Yeah,
everyone is, I've never met another person who has the same exact beliefs as I do. So it's really nice to be part of a community where everyone's just doing their own thing, and there is a tolerance and a respect for people on their own personal journeys.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, and that's why I really gravitated to you, because I'm like, this person is just so kind and like knowledgeable and has a lot of integrity. And speaking of roots, that goes back to your astrology. So you're a Pisces sun, Gemini moon, and Capricorn rising, which for the folks that like listen on the regular, I always say like the people that I link up with in my adult years, they have Gemini somewhere in their big three. So that is so fascinating. But But with the Pisces sun, of course, we get like you were born intuitive and you were born to like be a healer and of service. With the Gemini moon, like just absorbing, learning, like lifelong learner. And then with the Capricorn rising, just being very like practical and just wanting to be knowledgeable. Like, do I really know what I'm doing before I like offer it to other people? So that really speaks to like your integrity and why you're like, I'm gonna go on this 10+ year journey, which spirituality really is a lifelong journey. So yeah, you're really living your astrology with like your story. I see like all the elements coming out when you're talking.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Yes. But you've also been like so successful behind the scenes. You're so humble. You don't really like give yourself a pat on the back, but I'm gonna do that for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So you were the like spiritual consultant, Strega consultant for a show, which is like the dream. Like anyone that starts off in this like business, like we would love to get something like that someday. And you did it. Like, so I would say maybe not early on, but like early on as in when you decided to step into the spotlight. So I love that. So you were the consultant for, it was called Capo Rise to Power, correct?
Yes. So I'm going to drop a name here. I have a friend, Jamie Della. Jamie Della is a magic author. You should check out her books. But the production company reached out to her. She's quite more famous and well known. And they told her about the story. They're looking for an Italian witch expert. And she said, not Italian, but I know someone who is.
Love that.
Recommended me. And it was one of those things where I'm like, you know, I don't know what I might get out of this. It's going to be work. But I found it as an excuse to do more research and to learn more.
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, I'm going to be a consultant on the show. It is Stregheria. So it is the Italian-American religion that the show is about, not the old ways. And so it's been really interesting working with the film crew. They're out in Florida. I'm here in San Francisco.
Wow.
And so I make a lot of videos for them. This is what a ritual might look like. They didn't, they portray it in an interesting way. It's for entertainment.
Of course. Yeah.
So did they break some of the rules and portray it differently? Sure. But I think it's important to like just have those words out there, to have just that word Stregheria out there, and then that can get more people interested in it. And I think, in media in general, the way that witches and magic are portrayed, like we have Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Agatha All Along.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, there's so many shows out there that, are they all doing justice to witches? I don't know. I think in Sabrina, she's like a devil. She's like this daughter of the devil. But I think the media is getting it, and I think it's trying to represent things as authentic as possible. So they might not be getting it right correctly, but I think that it's being included and that's part of the conversation, and it's out there for people to grasp and then pull that string and find out where it goes is very cool. So I've been very excited to be a part of this show. It is on Hulu and Tubi. Capo Rise to Power, and it will be getting a season 2 and 3.
Yes, are you the consultant there for those seasons as well?
I think so.
Okay, all right, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, I am just so happy to hear that they did their due diligence and they weren't like, let me do a quick Google search or like a quick TikTok video. They were like, let's actually consult someone that like practices this. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And I got an IMDb credit.
Yes, that's awesome. Did they do the Strega bottle and like lighting the blue flame in season 1?
They don't use the Strega bottle, but it is very fantastical. While he does his Strega ritual, there are special effects fires and coming out of the mirrors and stuff. So it's a little even more extreme than the blue flame, but they try.
Yes, yes. Wow, that's amazing. And then the second beautiful achievement that you have is that you're curating a trip, correct, back to the homeland, and you're going to teach everyone about Italian goddesses and a bunch of, just spiritual things. So let's talk about it.
Yes, so my temple, Mount Shaddis Goddess Temple, does retreats every year. Greece, Crete, Turkey, Egypt, and it's usually women only, and we really focus on goddess sites.
Yeah.
So my temple has never been to Italy, and my high priestess asked me to curate the trip to Italy, and of course I'm Sicilian, so made that happen as well. And there is a very long history of Isis being one of the main goddesses of southern Italy and Sicily. So there's a lot of Isis and a lot of Diana, and also visiting sites of Persephone or Persepolis in Italian, because Italy or Sicily is supposed to be the garden where Hades steals Persephone and pulls her underground. There's also, they believed that the Cyclops lived on Sicily, and this is because there used to be miniature elephants on Sicily.
Wow.
There used to be little tiny elephants, and if you've ever seen an elephant skull, it has just that one hole. So people found elephant skulls and thought they were Cyclops skulls, and so that's why Cyclops, but there's Cyclops statues everywhere, and just a whole lot of great mythology. So I am super stoked. If you're interested in joining us, check out the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple website. There's so many great, amazing trips that you can be a part of.
I will link it in the show notes, so don't worry. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I'm a Persephone devotee. Okay. I love to work with her. She was the first sort of like non-Christian entity that I started working with. And I know that the fall equinox is very important because that's when she goes back down with Hades.
Yes.
Does anything happen in Sicily or in that area during the fall? Because that is such a special time with her. This is just my curiosity as a devotee.
There are so many little pockets where they keep these traditions alive. There are small little, they're not even covens. They're just people who keep the old ways going. And so there are parades, statues. The Black Madonna is very relevant down there. But there are people keeping these traditions alive. So I can't think of any big event off the top of my head. But yeah, you know what's big is Befana. Befana is a witch, and she flies on a broom. And she comes along during Christmas time, and she puts coal in stockings, which is where we think that the stocking during Christmas time comes along. So Befana is a big witch holiday in Italy, and everybody does celebrate that. So that's probably the biggest witch holiday they still do.
Oh my god, that's like, that makes me think the equivalent of like Krampus, which is like for the naughty children. Yes, the witch going to the naughty children to put coal in their stockings. I love that.
Yes.
That's so cute.
There's a belief that these guys used to beat the demons out with like corn stalks. So like once a year, a couple of guys with corn stalks go and like beat each other up because it's getting demons. But it's so interesting in this very, very Catholic country that they still will get out and do these very old traditions that have roots in the pagan mythos that they still keep it alive thousands of years later.
Yeah, we always love to talk about how the Catholic Church has incorporated with like other religions to be like, I see you doing that, let me rebrand it so you can join us. So that's very common to see. Yeah, we see that in like Mexican Latino culture as well. Yeah, so I'm not surprised.
Yes. Yeah, the Italians, the Catholic Church used to make big batches of fava bean soup and give it away to people as a way to get them to come into the church.
Wow.
So a lot of people went to church, but they kind of did it just to get the free meal.
Wow.
A lot of witchcraft Italians would actually have a family member be in the church to kind of protect them. So when all the Inquisition happened, all the witches were getting burned, Italy was actually the least touched. So in England, they were burning them, hanging them. Spain, we know. In Italy was actually the least fatal because they all kind of knew someone.
Wow.
They all had a brother that was a priest.
Yes.
And it was also the way of trying to keep knowledge of, what was the old ways and what are the Catholic ways and, how are they getting intertwined. But yes, that's how they would use protection. And I think that's also why saints, there's so many holidays or events in the Catholic Church or like the saint of this and that. You're like, that just kind of sounds like this goddess I know of. So I would say there's definitely an intertwining and weird tolerance that Italy has for the pagan ways.
Wow. That's amazing. What would you say is your favorite, goddess saint crossover that you know of?
Oh, that's a good one. It's got to be Jesus and Saturn.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's got to be the return of the Sun King, and it's Yule, it's Christmas, it's that's probably just that one's the one that definitely stands out as Jesus and Saturn. Saturnalia, another big holiday in Italy. So.
Is there any work or crossover with the saints in Stregheria?
So Italians have altars in their houses. Okay. And they believe in house spirits called Lare. And it's very, very common that on an altar you would have gifts for your Lare, your little house spirits, and you would have a saint statue. Catholics also have a very strong connection with Mother Mary.
Oh, yes.
That I don't think other Christian sects do.
No, Catholicism has them beat on that.
Yes, and there's even witches, like full pagan witches I know, still worship Mother Mary.
Oh, yeah.
So, very, very common to have a Mother Mary statue, a couple of saints. Your saints for whatever you need. St. Anthony, I lost something. Yes. St. Joseph, I got to sell my house. So, there's room for both. That you do a Hail Mary, and then you do a Malocchio cleansing with some oil. So, a little bit of both.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love to see the crossover. I love that historical aspect of this is how they got intertwined. And that is so intelligent of the Italian people to be like, yeah, we got to have a family member in there so that we have a little bit of status and protection. That's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I know that there are some charms that pertain to your practice, correct? That are very synonymous with the practice. I would love to show them off and for you to explain what each one of them is.
I brought some. I don't know if you'll be able to see these, but
I think so.
Okay.
We'll do our best.
So actually I'll start with probably the more familiar ones. So what we have here is a cornuto, which means horn. And a lot of people might call it the chili pepper.
Oh, it does look like chili pepper.
Yeah. Every Italian I know has a cornuto that they wear on a necklace. It is a good luck charm.
Cool.
If you do your research, you'll find it is remnants from the horn god.
Okay.
Okay, so cornucopia, anything with horns is really paying homage to the horn god, which, if you're not familiar, is, the original man and woman. You have the horn god and the maiden, and then he was a deer. He looks like a deer when we were hunters and gatherers. And then he turns into a goat when we've domesticated animals.
Speaking of horns, we have someone going through the tunnel honking their horn. So we're going to take a quick ad break and we will come back and talk about the rest of the charms after this. Gotta love San Francisco. If you like this episode and getting to know more about Zia, then you have to check out her shop, Infinity Coven, located at 447 Stockton Street, San Francisco, right near Union Square and Chinatown. Open Friday through Sunday. It's perfect for a weekend visit. It's honestly one of my favorite places in the city. Whether you're looking for a meaningful gift, a little treat for yourself, or some serious tools to support your spiritual path, she's got it all. Candles, crystals, herbs, ritual kits, you name it, all at great prices. You'll also find divination services with some amazing practitioners, including yours truly. So if you're in the area, come say hi. Can't make it to San Francisco just yet? No worries. Everything is also available online at infinitycoven.com, so you can still bring a little magic to your space from wherever you are. Also, of course, don't forget to follow her on Instagram at Infinity Coven and at Stregheria for more old world magic in this modern world. All right, now back to the show. All right, we are back. People have stopped honking their horns in the tunnel, so we can continue.
Okay, so that was the cornuto. This is mano cornuto, which means hand with horns.
Oh, wow.
It looks kind of like the rock and roll.
Yes, it does.
Symbol. Usually it's held upside down. And this is, again, it's like the bull's horns.
Okay.
So the horn god. This is also kind of a middle finger in Italy. If you do this at someone, it means they're a cheater.
Oh.
But it's upside down. It's a protection.
You know what's so funny? In Spanish, putting the horns on someone, echar los cuernos, means that like they're cheating on you.
Oh, that's so interesting.
That is fascinating.
Huh. This one is similar. I've got my things all tangled, so I'll just... This is a mano figa.
Okay.
And that means hand with fig. And this is the female version of the same thing. So it's supposed to look like a vagina.
I love that.
And so this is, I have a nice big one of these. And it's just, again, just female empowerment, protection, and it's the, these two go together.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
The last one I have here, it's a little tangled. Let me untangle it. It's called Chimaruta. It's Cimaruta if you want to check it out. Chimaruta means branch of rue. And rue is probably the most important herb in Italian witchcraft. Rue is good luck. You put a rue branch in your pocket all the time. And this rue branch has charms all over it.
Oh, wow.
There's a vervain flower, a dagger, a moon, a mano figa, a key. There are some other modern ones that have a cross in them, or like a bird. To me, those are a little too Catholic. So, but these, if you see anyone wearing one of these, chances are they're a witch.
Wow.
So the Chimaruta is probably the most like witchy charm that the Italians have.
So much overlap because rue is also very important in like Mexican shamanism.
Really?
Yes, ruda, people use it for cleanses and for protection.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Look what we're learning today.
So,
I didn't even know what rue was until I started to get into witchcraft. And trying to grow it now because it is so important.
Yes, yes. I love seeing all those talismans. And speaking of another talisman, do y'all have the evil eye?
Oh, yes. Evil eye, we call it Malocchio.
Okay.
Malocchio is a curse.
Okay.
And you can't see it, but in my shop, I have 100 Malocchio eyes protecting the store.
You have 100?
Yes.
I've never noticed.
Yes, there's 100 of them.
And I brought some too, so make that 102.
Yay. So I've noticed in stores that they sell them now in all colors.
Yeah.
But they're traditionally blue.
Yes, they are. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this might be offensive to some people, but there was a distrust of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people.
Yep.
So that's why it's a blue eye. It's watch out for the blue-eyed people. Now they make them in lots of colors. And Malocchio is a curse that you can get from another person who is jealous of you.
Yes.
And gold will protect you.
Wow.
So one reason Italians wear gold is it is protection.
Protect from Malocchio.
Especially on your head.
Okay.
So you wear a gold necklace. Babies are very often pierced with gold earrings when they're young. And it is to protect the head and the neck from Malocchio. And all it takes is one person being jealous of you and giving you that look. They don't have to be a witch. You can get a curse from a muggle. So yes, we use Malocchio, and then we test for Malocchio using a bowl of water and putting 3 drops of oil in it. And depending on if the oil stays a drop or if it spreads, lets us know if you've been cursed or not. And then we take pins and kind of break it up to break the curse.
That so much overlap again with like curanderismo, like Mexican sort of, or Latin American sort of like shamanism. That is amazing because we also pierce our babies and give them gold, but I don't think that's for protection. That's more like abundance and like a cultural thing. But it's interesting that happens. And yeah, babies are sensitive to the evil eye, or we just call it like ojo. And so they have like a red bracelet on them to protect them from that. And then, as you know, because it's getting very popular now, we do the egg cleanse, but also putting something in water to see how it like expands or like how it lays to see if someone has the evil eye.
Well, you'll do the egg roll, right? And then look at it in the water and see how it breaks apart.
But y'all use oil. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Shout out to our evil eye episode where we talk about like, we don't really know the origins of like where, evil eye, ojo, Malocchio comes from, because like it was just so globalized. So many countries like have their own versions of it. So like Mexican, Italian, Turkish, etc. Yeah. Wow. And I'm excited to talk about the spirit element and to have it burn for the rest of the episode. I don't know how long it lasts, but let's talk about the famous Strega liqueur.
Yes. So first I want to tell you that my friend made this bowl. It's beautiful.
Amazing. Is it copper? Or what is it?
It is copper. Yes. And it's got little snakes for legs. It has 3 legs because the Pythias, the oracles of Italy, Greece, Crete back then, would use a tripod when they did their divinations. We know that they were probably getting poisonous gases.
Oh, God.
From the earth that were making them maybe hallucinate. But again, the number 3 is important, and the tripod. So this is strictly a Stregheria thing, not old ways in Italy. But according to Raven Grimassi, I can smell that. This is part of the Stregheria ritual for spirit. So if you were to set up your altar, earth, fire, wind, water, whatever elements you use for that, and then this would go in the center and act as your spirit element.
I love that.
So it is liquor. It is drinkable.
That was my next question. Can you drink it?
Yes, you can drink it. It is very strong, so I would not.
I smell it. Yes, it smells kind of good though. I kind of don't mind it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what its made out of, but I don't drink it. I light it on fire. So we'll see how well this goes on camera, but we'll get a show regardless.
We've never used fire before on the show, so this is a show of firsts. That is beautiful. Oh, wow.
So maybe we can... It's blue, y'all. It's blue.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see it if it shows up on camera, but the way that I'm seeing it, it is a blue flame. And it is dancing around the bowl, and it looks so beautiful. Because most of the flames that we see are maybe like blue at the bottom, but mainly like orangey red. Yeah, that's wonderful. So this is more of an offering, or can you do like divination with it? Because sometimes people like scry into fire and look for things. Because it's blue, it's more like transparent, so you can't really see too many images on it compared to like the red orangey part.
I've only heard of it used as the spirit element, but I love flame reading. It's making sounds and stuff too right now. It's like it wants to be on the show. It's talking. But I think, scrying into this or using a scrying mirror. It's like really going now.
There's a lot of spirit energy in here.
Yeah, it actually has not done this before. It's usually like very still. I don't know why it's like crackling and going crazy, but it is. That's very interesting. But if
at any point we need to logically put this out, please let me know.
Okay, it'll go itself out.
Okay. Okay.
You could also incorporate a drink. Leave an offering of this Strega liqueur for your ancestors. But yeah, I think it's mostly just the spirit element. But it would be interesting to do a reading with it.
It is going crazy, y'all. I think you could probably see it at this point.
I think so.
Yeah, we just have a lot of spirit energy in here.
Yeah, it's never talked like this before. But I could even see, like, reading this. Like, there are little wavelengths and patterns happening on the surface of the liquor right now.
Oh, wow. So that's wild that this has never happened.
I know.
Wow, amazing. What would you say is one misconception of Stregheria, or just anything to do with this realm of spirituality that you're like, I wish I could clear this up. I wish I had a platform to be like, stop doing this or stop believing this.
I think probably the biggest misconception is that Stregheria is Italian witchcraft for everyone. Just like how people think Wiccan is it, the be-all, end-all. So I would say the number one thing is like, no, there's not a prescription, and you don't have to follow the Grammaci's rules. You can work with whatever goddess you want, or whatever god, or just work with nature, so that it's not a strict religion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's wonderful. And it's starting to die out. I see it getting calmer now. That's amazing. I'm so fascinated by this flame wheel. But I'm also a Leo and a little bit of a pyro, as David would like to call me, because I like to light a bunch of candles on my altar.
And now you have a reason to. It's like, add a little flair. But yeah, you see how it's like the blue is gone?
Yeah.
And it's letting us know it's
starting to die down. Wow. You also do a little bit of divination work. I know that you're like dipping your toe in it, but earlier in the year, I remember the date. It was January 5th of this year. I got a Lenormand reading from you. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Yeah. Which is a different type of like card-based divination, correct? It's like a deck of cards, and yours was pretty spot on because January 5th, I felt fine, and on it said you might encounter some health issues, and 2 days later I was in the hospital. But that was just definitely like some time coming. But I really enjoyed your reading, even though that part was a little like unfortunately true. But it was just really, really good, so in depth. And is that part of Stregheria, or is that like a completely different thing?
That's a completely different thing. I love Lenormand because not a lot of people know it.
Yeah, so I didn't know what it was before I met you.
And I think it's 36 cards, and it uses all 36 cards at once in a grand tableau, and it's pictures, and then you read them as a couplet. It's kind of like I Ching, where you read these as like little couplets. And I also, my other favorite divination is domino.
Oh wow!
And I have found along the way that I really enjoy tools made of bone. So my domino are cow bone, and I really, really enjoy working with them. And I'm also a math kind of person, and I like that Lenormand and dominoes have kind of like a little bit of rules, whereas to me, tarot with, was it 78 cards?
Yeah.
And reverse and this, and then it's too much for me. So it's easier for me to just do the 36 or the dominoes, which are just numbers. In Italian, they do a lot of card reading, but it's usually with like regular playing cards.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Or we have no, I don't have mine here. We have a card game called Scopa. And the Scopa card decks look like pentacles, wands, your tarot symbols, but it's a regular deck, 52 cards. So if you get your cards read by an Italian, it's very often with a deck of regular playing cards, not tarot.
Yeah, a lot of Mexican witches will use the same deck, but they call it like La Baraja Española. Yeah, or like European Spanish deck. Very, very cool.
Yes. And then a lot of coffee reading.
Oh, wow.
Fun stuff like that.
Yes. What are the other 3 books that you have there? So we went over the first one.
Raven Grimassi. He just passed away maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this was created fairly recently.
Yes.
Compared to the old religion.
Yeah, so he's kind of the go-to. If you want to, and this book is the go-to if you want to get, a deep dive into that. I will go next to Leland. So this is some dense reading. But Leland is Stregheria. He's the guy who started it. He's a British dude. My problem with Leland is he's just this white guy from America who went to Italy, found a lady, and this one lady said, "Oh, I know everything about Italian witchcraft." And he's like, thinks that he earned their respect and that he got all their secrets. That's not, and so he writes like, I have the secrets, this is the way they all do it. And 150 years later, we know that one person's story cannot be the be-all end-all. They talk about the mother of Italian witches named Aradia. And so the Stregheria, the American one, worships Aradia, who is a witch. And if you want to know the OG origins of Stregheria and you don't mind reading old English writings, you can check out Leland.
Yeah, I always recommend people look up the source. Like when I did the palmistry episode and I actually got the book from Zia's shop, Infinity Coven, I literally just researched who is Johnny Fincham, and he actually was a leading authority in palmistry. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this book. This is a good book. So yeah, always know your sources, and I love that you know that and weren't just like Strega book. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also everyone references this. So it's kind of like the Bible where like I don't really want to read this, but everyone's talking about it, so I'm going to read it so I know what everyone's referencing.
Absolutely.
And I will say I don't have any of her books because she's more of a scholar. But Sabina Maglocchio, I think her name is. Sabina is a really good opposite end of Raven. She calls Stregheria Wicca with marinara sauce, and
I love that.
and she kind of knocks Stregheria down a notch and just like that's a way, it's not the way.
Yes.
So if you're looking for more of that skeptical, what's the historical facts behind this, check out Sabina.
That's so cool. I love that duality. That's what we do on this podcast.
Yes. This is Dr. Leo Martello, and this is an Italian man. I'm going to say he was really popular in the 70s when there was the whole Wiccan revival. And he is very much in touch with the La Vecchia Religione, the old ways. He is not Stregheria. And again, a lot of this is before the internet, when he's just telling his personal experience and his family story and the traditions that he knows of. But he's definitely a good, like, these two guys, Stregheria, old school Italian witchcraft, they're must-read guys. And then this one is just a cute book. It's Italian folk magic, and this one's for your mom. My mom is Sicilian. She would not enjoy any of these, but this one is very... a good beginner book for like a friend or an Italian that might be interested. It's a lot of cooking, a lot of recipes, a lot of like
Kitchen witchery,
yes, for Italian. And it's a lot of it goes into, we spit, Italian spit. It's to spit out the curse. So you're going to hear stories in here about, why the women are, and they spit out this, or why they do this. And it's a really nice, just kind of easy transition in for a newbie. So those are some books I would recommend if you're interested in Italian witchcraft.
That's amazing. Yes. I love to see the Gemini moon bring this stack of books to this interview and be like, I'm ready to showcase it. One big thing that I talk about with religions is that there are, I would say, really two types of religions. There's like a worshiping religion and then more of like an empowerment religion. Would you say that Stregheria is more worshiping, sort of like Abrahamic religions, where it's like the whole focus is just to worship this thing, versus like other religions like Wiccan or, like Santerismo and things like that are like empowering you to live your best life and take matters into your own hands with like manifestation, divination, things like that?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I would say Stregheria, the American, is a religion with, there's certain things you have to do, and what was it, empowerment or
worshiping versus like empowerment, where it's like you just worship and observe and just say thank you, and you like never really ask for anything, or if you do, you're like praying like, please give me this, versus like other religions are like, you manifest what you want, like you make an offering and then you go do the thing. It's very much like, how do you want to live your life?
Stregheria is worship.
Okay. Worship.
They have
worship
the rituals. You
have
to do this if you want to get that in return. Whereas the old religion is very empowering. And as far as I have researched, is the only place where the practitioners can insult the gods. So in Italy, in Italian witchcraft, you can threaten the gods.
Oh my gosh.
It is totally okay. So you can't, a lot of times people will take like saint statues or whatever they're trying to get attention of, and they'll hang them upside down. They'll put them in boxes and hide them, and then they'll say like, hey, until I get this, or this, you're stuck in the closet. when I get what I need, then you can come back on the altar. But I don't appreciate this bad luck, or if your crop's bad, you can punish the gods, which I have not heard anyone else being able to do that. But the Italians, yes, they are empowered to get what they want and ask for what they want and keep going until they get it.
I am mind blown right now. I have never heard of that in any way. That is amazing.
Yes.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge. I had a blast. And like I said, I always want to do like the cultural mysticism justice and not just like research and say it. So thank you so much for your time. What exciting events do you have coming up with the future of like Infinity Coven or anything that you're putting on outside of Infinity Coven?
Oh, thanks for asking. Well, we just had our first workshop here, and we did an altar building class, and we're gonna start doing more of those in July. We're going to be doing a tarot class where Meg is going to go over the archetypes and the story of all the major arcana, and then doing some birth math. Everyone will learn what their like 3 power cards are that you can work with. It's very cool. We also have a regular in the shop who is, I think we're going to start doing some full moon ceremonies.
Wow.
And we are downtown, surrounded by buildings. You cannot see the sky very well from where we are. So we're probably going to host those in a park, maybe Golden Gate Park. But it'll be open for everyone. Follow us on Instagram at Infinity Coven to learn more about our events.
And I will put all of that in the show notes. And then, Infinity Coven itself sells so many wonderful things. You can get, everything from jewelry, magic supplies, candles, hats, capes, like so many wonderful things. And if there's something you want that is not here, just ask Zia and she will get it for you. She knows a guy. She knows how to get
a guy. Yeah, I can get the things.
And you also ship, correct? You can also, if someone isn't in San Francisco.
That is correct.
Yeah.
We ship everywhere in the world. Why not? Yep, almost everywhere. And we also have a divination room. We do readings. And Jen is here once a month, so come on by when she's here.
Yeah, so when I say come check me out, I'll be in the Bay. This is where I am. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jen. This was lovely.
Yes, this was a blast. All right, everyone, show Zia some love. Rate this show 5 stars wherever you're listening. Comment, ask some questions. I'll get them back to her if there's anything you want to say, or just follow her on the gram. All right, everyone, take care. Bye.
Bye.